Hello and welcome to day 71 of the 100 Days Challenge. Today I took a break of the Maze Rush game and instead I worked on a totally different topic that just came to my attention. Here in where I live, there's kind of common to where it's close to the Christmas time, people do what it's called the invisible friend. It's just a translation, but basically it's you if you are, for example, in a group of, let's say, 4 people. To make it easy, you just have a piece of paper with each of the names and then you put them in a box and you just take one, and the people that you get to that paper, you need to give a gift to them. And yeah, you cannot get yourself a gift, so in case you get yourself name, then you just need to restart the raffle. So this is something quite common, and yeah, basically last year when we did it, there were some things that maybe the application we are using it's not the best one, etc., etc. So it was okay for the next year we'll do our own application. So this way we are sure that there's no tricks anywhere. And this is what I did today. Basically, with help of ChatGPT and just doing some investigations first, I came up with this web application that it's built in PHP and plain JavaScript, HTML, and CSS without frameworks and in a mobile first approach. Here is what the ChatGPT just proposed me to do this stack. This would go away. And basically, it's that you need to play this invisible friend where you configure your raffle, you just make the restrictions and you can send the results through mail, because that way we don't know who each people has to give the gift. So for example, here we could say that there's John Doe. Here we say all the mail will see hello@hello.com, because you'll see why I'm doing that. I'm adding like 5 people, and let's say that we have John, we have Peter, we have Anna, we have Chris, and finally we have Mark. So when I can add as many as I want, and then I can continue to the restrictions. So for example, here we can choose which people can give a gift to each one, because sometimes, for example, when you play with family or friends or just with couples, then you say, okay, I don't want to give a gift to my partner. Instead, I would say, for example, imagine that John and Peter are a partner, so say, okay, John cannot give it to Peter, and at the same time you can see that here Peter cannot either give it to John. So this is like kind of in a mirror part. And yeah, basically you can define the different things, and with that you can see here that it says there are 4 possibilities, like the number of people that actually can get gifts to them. But if I refresh these things, I can recalculate the real possibilities. So here you can see that John Doe has only 2 possibilities. And this may seem weird, but for example, imagine that in this case John could be Peter and Anna, but let's say that, for example, Mark can only give it to Chris. It means that just by default, the reasoning has changed. So, for example, I'm meaning this is example. John Doe can only give it to Mark, and Mark can give it to John Doe and to Chris. However, if I calculate, Mark actually has only 1 possibility, because despite of having Chris as a possibility, John Doe would be his only person. So this is why I'm adding this part here, to understand why it does. And here I have 2 possibilities. One is to make just a test raffle, or do the real raffle that it would send emails and wouldn't see the results here. So I'm just adding this to make it look better. So I have 2, 2, 2, 4, and 2. I make a test raffle, and you can see John to Chris, Peter to Anna, Chris to Mark, and I can retry the raffle to see that every time it keeps changing. In this case, it's only 4 people, so there are no, or 5, I don't know how many it said, 5. But so there are no many possibilities. Most of them can only give it to two people. But if we go back and we add person one, person two, one one, one one one. Let's say I'm tired of one, two two, two two two, two two two. No, actually I don't like this. I'd say 5 because otherwise it would look weird. And here, yeah, you need to add a mail. That would be where you would receive the email. So if I continue to restrictions and I just say that everyone can do it to everyone, so you can see that 1 to 3 there are like many changes here, so this is dynamic. In order to achieve that, I did the backtracking algorithm that basically is a class of algorithms for finding solutions to some computational problems that have some constraint satisfactions. And basically I've been looking for different alternatives and this is what I found the best. So this works well with groups that are not too big, like I don't know, usually here are like 5 to let's say 20 people more or less, so it works well. Then after looking at the different algorithms, if for any reason it should be working for more people, meaning hundreds of people, then there would be different algorithms that would also be maybe better, like matching by shared graphs, like the Hungarian or the Hopcroft curve. So there are different algorithms that would work better, but this is the one that has the better balance in terms of computing and speed and everything. So this is what I did. Basically, as I said, this just took me away from my goal, my current project that is the maze game, but I had to do this, so I just wanted to do it today, and I had my head on here, so I was not uh, into doing other things. And that's all for today. It's been kind of a break day, but yeah, well, basically here, as I said, I did it with main basic technologies without anything. So here you can see where I have an index PHP file with just some HTML for the different sections, also some setup on the top to make sure that you can just have the phase, the action, the mode, so that you are in phase 2, you can repeat that phase. Then just some styles that are generated through AI, and here the functions that are shared, like the find matching that do the backtracking, and the different methods to check if an edge is feasible or not. Because at the end, basically what this algorithm does is it tries one thing, and every time it finds the first viable solution, just it takes that one. So yeah, as you can see, there's not too much in it, but yet, and yeah, I said that it should be responsive so that it can be also used in mobile. And yeah, that's all. If you watched that random video, thank you, and if you would like to use it for any chance, just tell me and I would upload it. So just now you saw that I had uploaded it into a random directory within my website, then I would maybe create it in a better way. Thank you and see you tomorrow.